Beats on the truck, boom, boom, boom. Move your mother effing truck. Hi guys, if you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you. Okay, this video, we are going to talk about my challenges and experience as a woman in a male-dominated field, which is truck driving. Some of the biggest challenges for women truck drivers is lack of representation and acceptance in this predominantly male-dominated field. A lot of people stereotype us and they question our ability to get the job done. So we're just going to jump into some of the experiences I've had just being a woman in this field and dealing with men. I'm not going to bash men because that's not what I do, but I am going to give the positives and negatives. So let's say I show up to a warehouse and I'm 12 hours early, like super early. Most times if I go into the warehouse, they'll tell me like, oh, you're too early. But when I tell you, they will literally like push me to the front of the line, or they will literally like get my load ready and load me before a lot of people that were there. And it's just because when people see something that they consider like beautiful or whatever, especially like for women, then they are a lot of times inclined to help you. If they're not threatened by you, then they will help you and they will like kind of go above and beyond for you. And I've experienced that so many times to the point where if my partner goes and check in and they tell him one thing, if I'm awake, he'll ask me like, can you just go in there and try? And then a lot of times me just knowing like, me having a little bit of finesse, I will say, and just knowing how to talk to people and knowing that I'm a woman, I look pretty, I smell good, I'm super nice, I have a better shot than him at getting what I want. So as far as like getting loaded early, or if I showed up late but I still want to be loaded, then that has worked in my favor a lot of times. In the same sense, I've dealt with men who literally have worse attitudes than women, y'all. I'm talking about like cussing at me, talking to me crazy. There was this one situation where when I got to the pickup, there's no clear instruction on where to park your truck, where, you know, like even when they were done at the dock, they didn't give me a green light. I just had to kind of like listen for when they weren't loading the truck. And so I guess the guy kind of knew that I was done because there was the guy on the back dock standing out, like the one who normally loads trucks. He was standing out there smoking a cigarette. And so I didn't know like any of this. This is my first time there. And then the guy just comes up to the truck. Oh man, of course. Beats on the truck. Boom, boom, boom. Move your mother effing truck. I'm like, I always have to just like take a second because my initial reaction is just to go off. Like if I was a man sitting in this truck, I don't think you would have walked up to me and talked to me like that. So I'm like, okay, y'all. And I remember like that day, I got so mad. Like I was already talking to my partner about God just telling me like, shit, you gotta learn how to control your mouth. When people are saying things that you don't like, you don't have to respond. Like no response is a response. But y'all, when I tell y'all, I got my hammer and I went up to his truck, and all I'm gonna say is God intervened, because the way if he would have lowered down that window or came out that truck, the way I would have popped him with that hammer, I would have been in jail for sure. Like for sure. But I had to really take that situation and I had to like learn from that situation, because it's like, Chae, there are gonna be situations like this when you are out here. There are gonna be people that's rude to you. They're gonna say nasty things. Like, don't let people bait you in. And so from that situation, I really like, something I've constantly prayed on was for God to just take that out of me. Like that part of me that wants to just like meet people where they are, just take it out of me, because I can't let people that literally don't have anything to lose, they don't care about their life, they don't care about whatever. I can't let them cause me to lose. I got too much going on. So I really like, ever since then, I've been a little bit more chill when it came to like situations with drivers, but I need to be better. But yeah, so you'll deal with people just like if I was a man sitting in this truck, I don't think you would have walked up to me and talked to me like that. But yeah, so you deal with that. And I've dealt with similar situations on so many different occasions, y'all. And honestly, when I react, they back down. I think they just expect, because I'm a woman and they're a man, that I'm gonna like cower away. Pray for me. And just as a woman, I feel like we have to remain teachable, and we have to learn to be calm in situations, because there will be situations where you just like, but trust me, the more you walk away, the more you kind of go unfazed with these things, the more you learn to not be fazed by these things, the more you say, you know what, I could have reacted like the old Chae, but the new Chae, she don't do that. So the more you kind of like do that and you start to identify with a calmer version of yourself, then it's easier to just like push stuff to the side. Another thing is, y'all, when I was learning how to back up, every single time, like without fail, if I was like taking my time to back up, or maybe like I didn't get it right, so I had to pull up and try again. When I tell you, almost always, if there is a man present, he will jump out the truck and help me. On one hand, I love that, but on another hand, it's like, it took me longer than it should have to really learn how to back up, because I always knew somebody was just gonna jump in and help me, and I kind of became dependent on that. And even my partner, like him being a man, if he is like right there and I'm struggling and I'm getting like frustrated, he would just jump in and be like, I got you, let me do it for you. Or he would go out and just like help me. And it kind of just made me like, you know, like if I didn't feel like getting out, going look back up, all that, I always knew like if my partner was awake, he would do it. If there was like a man in another truck, he would jump up and help me. And I feel like they help other male drivers as well. But it got to the point where I was like in the truck for a long time, y'all, and I still could not back up into certain spots, like spots I should have known how to back up into. The next thing we're gonna really talk about is safety. And when it comes to being a woman on a truck, especially if you are a solo driver, I drive with my partner. If he hear me getting into it with someone, he jumps up so fast, like so fast. And I don't know, it's like he have telepathy, y'all, because I could be in a store getting into it with someone. If he feels like I've been in there too long, he's gonna come see. And I love that. But if you're by yourself, then you definitely have to take extra measures to make sure you're protecting yourself. I don't think you have to be like scared, because I'm never scared. I drive overnight. That means most nights I get out of the truck at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. The sun is down, but I'm always watching. So it's immediately, like when I'm pulling into a truck stop, if I feel like for instance, like there's a pilot in Memphis, couldn't pay me to stop. You could not pay me to stop there. If I pull into a truck stop and it gives me that vibe, I'm like, yeah, I'll just stop somewhere else. I'll look for somewhere else. We use an app called Truckapad, and I'll just like go somewhere else, because what I'm not about to do is put myself in a situation I don't want to be in. Also, when I pull up, my head is on the swivel. I see everything. I see everything. I'm watching for everything, but I'm also not scared, because I know if I feel a bad vibe, I'm not getting out this truck, number one. Number two, I have ways to protect myself. Like, I won't go into that on this video. You read between the lines, but I have ways to protect myself. You better have something. And the years I've been out here, no one has ever tried to do me anything, seeing me get out of the truck. But just as a safety precaution, I'm always ready. Always, always. I come from a city where you always have to be ready. So, yeah, PTSD much, but I'm always ready. It's not even just like people you gotta watch out for. You gotta watch out for like stray dogs and stuff like that. Like, you need to see everything, because as a woman, you just know at the end of the day, I don't know what people are up to. In every truck stop I go into, there's a sign that says like, if you are being trafficked. So clearly this is happening a lot. So you just have to watch, like you really have to watch yourself. But again, you don't have to be scared. Like, if you are a woman, maybe don't stop at a rest area in the middle of the night. Maybe go to an actual truck stop where there's lights and people working and cameras and stuff. But just be smart about it. And then locking your truck, there's a way that you can like wrap the seatbelt around the door so that no one can get in your truck while you're sleeping. So in one of my videos, a man asked me about this, and I just thought it was so weird. Like, sir, why do you even care? But as a woman, we have our homegirl that comes to see us every month like clockwork, and I feel like that's a bit of a challenge when I'm on the truck, because if my stomach is hurting so bad, like for me, every now and then I have these situations where my stomach will hurt so bad to the point that I start vomiting, and I'll literally just be sick the entire day. And it doesn't happen a lot, but it has happened since I've been on the truck. I try to plan my home time around that time, especially like the first few days, because not only am I in pain, I'm like, I have an attitude for no reason. I have to stop for the restroom way more often, and I also, like, as a woman, just imagine pulling into a place where you're going to pick up or drop off, and then them telling you they don't have public facilities, that you have to use a porta potty. I don't use porta potties. Honestly, I'd rather dig a hole in the ground. I'm not using a porta potty, and that's just me. But you do face challenges, because I feel like a porta potty for a man, like, you know, they can go and it's easy, just in and out. But for a woman, like, I'm not about to squat over feces. Like, I'm just not. I'm not. So all I'm gonna tell you is have something on that truck that in an emergency, you can. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I've had one too many emergencies, and y'all, I've had times where I pulled over on the side of the road and I've been like naked from the bottom half, because I was not. I didn't have any other choice. And if you don't have a choice, what are you gonna do? You're gonna sit in a chair, or you're gonna try to at least, you decide. And I feel like a lot of women, like, we are more attention to detail as far as like cleanliness goes than men. And one thing about these truck stops, yeah, yeah. One thing about these truck stops is that the cleanliness sometimes is very questionable. It'll really make you think like, do I even want to be out here? Because I'm not showering in that. I'm not using that restroom. I'm not. So I keep supplies. I have supplies. I have like miniature Lysol wipes and all of these things, little small spray bottles that I keep in the side of my bag, just in case I go into a place where it's like, I don't have a choice. I'm gonna make the best out of this. But most times I get on Trucker Path, I read the reviews, I look at pictures, and I make sure I'm pretty good about finding places that are, you know, clean enough. And because I've been on the road for a while, I kind of know like where to stop. But if I get somewhere and I don't like it, I'm gonna put my clothes back in my bag. I'd rather take a bucket bath on the truck. I ain't gonna tell you what a bucket bath is, but you can use your head. I'd rather take a bath on the truck. I will say though, 93% of the time, it's like smooth sailing. Like I don't have any issues. It's like woo, woo, woo. But that little 7% of the time will really make you rethink if you want to be out here on the road or not. I can't even lie about it. It will really have you questioning, is it worth it? Okay, you guys, so that's gonna wrap up this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what part of this video you were able to identify with, whether you are man or woman. And then also let me know about some of your personal challenges on the truck. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.